Week 9, start 'em, sit 'em. Gully, quarterbacks to start. What do you have for us?
All right. This week, I'm going to say you want to start Justin Herbert. Going against the Titans, they're ranked the third lowest in average depth of target, or known as your A dot. They're also giving up 18 points to QB on average for fantasy points. Sorry, kind of stumbled there, but
No, we got you.
yeah, they. I think they're not the worst defense in the world against the pass, but I just think Justin Herbert is doing pretty damn good right now, and it's hard to bet against him, especially going against kind of a defeated Titan team already. So
Not only that, I'm going to add on to that, but coming off of the Minnesota win is a huge confidence boost, and where Minnesota was technically in the passing defense game, that Herbert now may have found his stride back with the Chargers, that they can hopefully ride, a big success story here coming on. So I like it.
Absolutely. And so my sit-em for the week is Jaden Daniels. Now that he's coming back off of his injury, going against Seattle's defense, and they also aren't ranked that great. They're only they're in the middle of the pack as far as defense against QBs. But coupled with him coming back from injury, Seattle coming off a bye, so they're well rested, and the fact that McLaurin's already out, so he's already down one of his weapons, I think it's going to be a rough day for him.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, with McLaurin. And, I mean, what's Debo? What's Debo's status? Is he...
Yeah, he's healthy. Yeah, so far.
Is he ready to go?
Yeah, he has
We just
no
haven't seen much
designation.
showing out of him, so, okay.
Yeah, other than, having balls tipped off his hands and into the defenders,
Well, he's 5'6", so whatever. Or whatever, height he is. All right. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones, Mr. Indiana Jones, Pittsburgh. 31st against quarterbacks this year. It's no surprise Pittsburgh does not have a very good defense. But it is kind of surprising because it is always the Pittsburgh way. But, I mean, the way, like we talked about last week, the way Indianapolis is going offensively, there is just no true stopping them yet. And I don't know. I have not fully looked well into their schedule to see how many contenders that they've played on against the defense. But right now it doesn't matter. They didn't make the schedule. They're doing what they can against who they have to, and this is the week that they're probably going to do it one more time. So
right, and kind of to add on to that, I mean, if you take a look at Jonathan Taylor, nobody has been able to stop him. So, and I think one of the reasons for that is how well Danny Dimes is playing.
And their line.
Right?
I mean, the Vikings got two of their linemen, and it seems like Indy's line has improved dramatically. Like Minnesota got fleeced on these signings almost, So, I mean, I saw something that Jonathan Taylor has the most yards before contact and the most yards after contact. How crazy is that?
Well, considering we're like midway through the season and he's already has 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think 14. I think.
Yeah,
he's almost 14, up to where Saquon was last year for the entire season, and his yardage pace is up there. So yeah, dude, hats off to JT there.
Absolutely.
Sit him. You can actually go. I'm gonna throw two out there just because. Sit him. I'm gonna go CJ Stroud versus Denver. They're third against all quarterbacks, or any scoring, so I wouldn't trust anyone against Denver. However, just because to keep the theme rolling, I also would not start Bo Nix. We wanted to keep that going. I don't know if we've done it all week, every week this year, but I just want to shout out his name one more time. So we did toss him in. I don't like the matchup against Houston. They got a pretty good D2, so someone may show out, but on paper, just maybe throw someone else in if you have them.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I like that. All right, so let's move on to running backs here. So my start of the
Okay.
week is going to be Kyron Williams, um, coming off a bye, rested up, playing against New Orleans Saints, 20th overall versus the run, giving up average 102 yards and almost a touchdown a game. Um, Not to mention, with the Rams coming off the bye, they're going against a rookie quarterback. What I'm thinking is the Rams are gonna be up early. They're gonna be able to run the ball at will after that, just to kind of eat the clock, keep Stafford healthy. I I think it's going to be a big game for Karen.
Could this be? I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Could this be a game where they might be up so big that Blake Corum gets
Oh, definitely.
touches and a possibly like a flex play, or
That's
is
possible.
that hopeful wish hopeful
No, I think that
whatever the dang thing is.
yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
do know what you're saying. I think that's probably not a bad idea. I mean, especially if they are up, if they're up big and they're midway through the third, I can see probably Corm maybe even taking over, but by then I could see Kyron you know, already having his 20 some odd points for the day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure.
anyways, so my sit 'em for the week is good old Tony Pollard. So, playing the Chargers defense, they're ranked 13th overall, which kind of like some of my predictions so far today. They're not the worst run defense, being 13th overall, but um, being in the middle of the pack. But Pollard's banged up. I also think that the Chargers are gonna, probably get up on them. So Titans are gonna have to do it through the air, and that kind of leaves Pollard out. Even though he's all right with the passing game, I just don't see much production there.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
So,
I might even butcher this guy's name, but Kimani Vidal,
yeah,
if I said that right, against Tennessee,
yeah,
look really good against Minnesota. Tennessee's got the 30th ranked against any opposing running backs, so matchup looks great. I think the Chargers might just blow this one open to go along with Herbert. Any Chargers play here might be great. So
absolutely.
I feel like some of mine just are on paper maybe too easy to even describe to you guys, but to make some matters objectively easier for you to understand, we're going to try to do so.
Right on.
To sit though, Alvin Kamara against your Rams team, we don't even know what's going on with New Orleans anymore, and the Rams are second against running backs. It just does not bode well. This could even possibly be we're going to sit you because we're going to trade you type of a game. We don't know. I doubt it,
Right.
but you just never know. They always say we're not going to trade you because they just want to keep the PR stuff out of the way. It's possible,
Yeah, he's
but
also made some comments too that he's like if they trade him that he's going to go end up sitting on a beach somewhere. So, he is 30
I
years
mean,
old.
once you want to get out of there though,
Yes.
unless you're just reaping money, which every NFL player still kind of is, unless you
Yeah.
want to get a 9 to 5 gig
Yeah, exactly.
or a 7 to 6 gig, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But yeah, that's what I got for running backs.
Right on, right on. All right. Not a bad play there because I did also see that since the second week of the season, he Kamara has not been good.
Nothing.
So uh, I would like to see him get traded to a good team. It'd be nice. I mean, to see him hopefully
Get back to his
flourish.
old self
Right?
again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
right.
anywho, I digress. My start of the week for wide receivers is I'm going with Jalen Waddle versus Baltimore's defense. Baltimore's ranked 31st against the pass, giving up 10 yards per reception, 24 points a game to wide receivers. I think with Tua and Jalen Waddle, how they played last week, I think they can build on that, and I think it could be a really big game for them. So if you got them,
Yeah.
start them. You know.
Okay. All right. I'll go with that.
So my sit of the week is actually going to be on the opposite side of the ball, and I'm going to go with Zay Flowers. Even though Zay Flowers had a pretty good game um, with Baltimore's backup there, but the Dolphins are ranked number 2 overall against wide receivers. And with Lamar coming off a multi-week, hamstring injury and going to have to shake off some of the rust, I think he may be a smart sit him unless you absolutely have to start him.
Yeah,
So,
understandable.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so that's my start and sit for wide receivers this week.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to say I'm going to match you or beat you. But this, again, based on paper here, I think this is just too good to be true. And hopefully this isn't a question for a lot of you guys, but Marvin Harrison against Dallas, still 31st against wide receivers.
Yep.
I mean, is there anything more to really say? I think that one is just, it's kind of black and white for me.
Yep.
The Sid'em is, I was actually talking to you, Gully, before we started hitting record, and this one I really thought could have been a great surprise start. And after looking at his numbers, I was not convinced that it would be. Therefore, saying maybe it still could be. However, pick your own poison. But Jameson Williams, I'm gonna say sit. His last 4 games against Minnesota has been 114 yards and 1 touchdown, and that's
not the average.
He just hasn't.
That's the total.
That's the total in the 4 games, right? Yeah, if that was the average, that'd be a start him all day. And Minnesota still ranks 7th against wide receivers, even after the shellacking. The last 2 weeks that they've had, we're still 7th in pass defense against receivers. So, could they defend Amon-Ra and Jameson goes off for a big score? Yeah, absolutely. That's risk you take with Jameson Williams, that it's a all or none type of a play.
Really is.
But consistency, looking at the last games that he's had, it's not in your favor. So, play the odds as you will.
Well, that's kind of his consistency all year, really. Last year he was a lot more consistent, a lot more points scored. This year he has not looked that great.
Yeah. I can go with that. Yep.
All right. So my moving on to tight ends, my start of the week is the rookie Tyler Warren out of Indy going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are ranked 31st overall in tight end defense. I think it could be kind of the coming out party, similar to Tucker Kraft last week for Green Bay. So at least I'm hoping so, because I got him in a couple leagues. So that's,
now the truth comes out.
Exactly. Got to worry about myself first. But no. Anywho, I really think that he has a good shot at really doing well this week. And then my sit-em for the week is Hunter Henry for New England going against Falcons. They're ranked number 1 against tight ends, giving up a paltry 2.14 fantasy points per game to tight ends.
That's amazing.
Yes. So I would say, without a doubt, sit him. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer.
That kind of blows my mind a little bit, considering I mean, I know tight ends really haven't shown out much this entire season, but I mean, you're telling me you can't get, a couple of catches to a tight end at all,
right?
Yeah, in any game.
It's legitimately like 1 touchdown and like 3 catches. So
boost
far
that
over the course of the season.
I haven't, right? I mean, man, that's amazing. All right. Well, I mean, stats don't lie, right? Numbers don't lie. Stardom, Colston Loveland in Cincinnati, 32nd against tight end.
Yeah.
Now, if you followed along, this was not entirely on purpose. I saw the schedule and I looked at it and I'm like, I think some of these guys might be favorable.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out Daniel Jones is 31. These are the defenses that these guys are playing against. Daniel Jones, 31st against QB. Kamani Vidal, 30th against the run. Colston Loveland, 32nd against the tight end, and Marvin Harrison 32nd against wide receivers. It was not that I only had looked it up on one side; it just so happened to be that way. That's why I said it almost looks black and white on paper that these might be just so easy to put in as starters. But Chicago has looked fairly well, and this matchup actually does favor this a lot. So I do like the start here. As far as Sidham goes, this one does not throw out on paper a lot. Is Minnesota's own TJ Hawkinson. Because Detroit's only 15th against the tight end. So it's not like, well, Bully, where are you getting your numbers from?
Yeah.
I said, well, I mean, okay, all year he's only gotten 222 yards passing, right? 1 touchdown.
Right.
He's had no 50-yard receiving games.
Yep.
I get Minnesota has been an abysmal at quarterback position, and now McCarthy is going to start fully healthy. Weird.
Yeah.
You know, is he going to be a safe haven for him? Because the first 2 weeks that he played with JJ McCarthy, he wasn't there. So,
yeah,
I truly think maybe TJ Hawkinson could be trade bait here.
Interesting. You know, I guess I didn't think about that, but
TJ Hawkinson has underperformed after his first year with Minnesota. Looked great after the trade.
Absolutely.
Injuries happened. He signed a big contract, and Minnesota also signed Josh Oliver for big numbers.
Right.
And they've been using Josh Oliver even more in the red zone than they have TJ Hawkinson.
Yep.
So, and a better run blocker. So maybe they can dump some salary for who knows what their plan is, but I wouldn't be surprised if if something happens there.
That's
maybe a food for thought. Maybe
that's a good take. I actually like that take quite a bit. Because here's the thing. Now that Wentz is out for the season for the Vikes, right? And we got to see what JJ McCarthy's got. So I hate to say it, but I think, you know, Vikings fans can be some of the most delusional fans in the league. And if you're thinking that JJ was going to just step right in and take us to the promised land, I think that's a little bit nuts. You have to adjust to the speed of the NFL. So, yeah, with that being said, if we lost Hawkinson, would it be that detrimental to our team? Probably not, because I really don't see our team even being a playoff team at this point. But
right. Yeah. And I don't know how many years he has left on his contract, maybe 1 after this year or something like this. Sure. But yeah, to underutilize him has not been great to pay him that amount of money.
Yep.
Is, you know, salary cap issues. You know, even going forward, like, are we a playoff team? Are we a contender? You know, what's our plan? Are we going to try to go all in? Are we sellers? I know we were talking last week that, like, maybe we're not going to do too much, but you're either here to win it all or you're not. Like, who's here is to try to go, you know, 7-10, 8-9. Yeah, that'll be great. That's a successful season. You know, coming off 14-3. Like, what? I don't understand the plan behind it. You know, friend of mine were talking, you know, NBA trades versus NFL trades. You know, NBA trade is, you know, your average guy is worth three first round picks. You had Micah Parsons went off the chain for two first round picks.
Right.
You could probably get a franchise quarterback. Why doesn't Minnesota go out of their way, offer 2 or 3 first round picks for Burrow? Considering Cincinnati does not like paying players, they would probably take that in a heartbeat.
Sure.
Burrow is your franchise quarterback. He has a connection with Jefferson. He would work wonders in this offense.
I would agree
and
with you there.
What are you going to do with your next 2 first-round picks in the next couple of years? Probably, you know, shake or bake on 1 or 2 of them that you're not going to – 1 or 2 of them ain't going to come out successful.
Sure.
So take the risk or take a guy that's already here. And if you did that, a guy like Hawkinson could still be valuable. But right now, I don't see him being valuable with what we have going on. And our window is short with Jefferson's prime, with what we got to pay. Considering you made all these acquisitions and transactions in the offseason for a lot of defenders.
Yeah, I really think that the big mistake that the Vikes made in the offseason was actually not signing Sam Darnold. I think if we would have signed Sam Darnold, I think this season would be completely different.
Yeah, yep, I agree.
So, but
Yep.
it is what it is. They, they stuck their flag in the sand per se and said, JJ's our guy, and so that unfortunately we have to live with it as well. So we have to live with their decision and hope it pays off, right?
Well, we're trying to back them, and maybe things will turn around for them. Considering we did talk about trades and the trade deadline is coming up early November, we will either discuss some things that happen. So we're looking forward to that type of talks when that comes around. So
absolutely. So I got one other little tidbit for you.
Ooh, I like those.
So a couple weeks ago we did some, the chat GPT prediction. Right?
Oh yes,
So
yep, yeah.
I quick did that here before we met. So I'll quick run through it. So ChatGPT says for PPR, the top picks of the week for start. Now, granted, this is ChatGPT, so it's Patrick Mahomes, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Warren. So I thought that was kind of interesting how I did match up with him with ChatGPT on Tyler Warren, but I purposely try not to pull out the best players in the game just because everybody's gonna. I mean, there's nobody's that's gonna sit them. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, understand.
So,
right.
So here's ChatGPT sit-ems. Bo Nix, Rico Dowdle, Cortland Sutton, and then Hunter Henry. So apparently, my mind is like AI. We think the same. I got the same start 'em and sit 'em tight ends.
Yeah, no feelings, just
Exactly. I am a robot.
Well, Gully and Bully are still alive in our guillotine. We're crossing our fingers. We both can survive next week to talk more crap against each other, but we will see what happens.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, hopefully the information that we gave you helps out this upcoming week. And if you did watch this entire thing and didn't hit follow, I don't know what's wrong with you. Make sure you do hit the like, hit the subscribe, right. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.